Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna make the pizza dough. So let me cue the ingredients. So for my ingredients, we have 3.5 cups of flour, 1 package of yeast, one of these ones, and 1 pinch of sugar. We're also gonna need some salt, 1 tablespoon, 1 cup of hot water, some olive oil, and just the basic, pizza dough recipe. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna activate our yeast. So I'm gonna put them in my water here, and I'm just gonna feed it with some sugar. So I'm just gonna put up a teaspoon or so, and then we're just gonna put them on the side, and we're gonna make it in the mixer. So I'm gonna put my flour. You're gonna sift it first, okay? And then you're just gonna add 1 tablespoon of salt, and we're gonna need our hook. So very simple recipe, very just basic. And then we're just gonna start mixing it, and I'm gonna add my water and my oil. So I'm gonna come back. Alright, so we're gonna start mixing, and I'm gonna add my yeast and the oil. So 1 tablespoon of oil, and you're gonna add your water. Then you're just gonna mix it for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and check it. Okay, so this is how you want your dough to look like when it's in the mixer. And then you're just gonna mix it for about 5 minutes. So, and then you're just gonna check it into stretches. So I'm gonna come back after the 3 more minutes, and then we're gonna take a look of our dough and let it rest. So after you do your pasta, your dough, and it has to be nice and soft, and you can be able to stretch it by hand. So now we're just gonna let it rest. We're gonna put them in a bowl and let it rest. See, it's nice and smooth. So now we're gonna let it rest in a bowl. We're gonna add some olive oil and let it rest for about an hour, and then we're gonna come back and shape our pizza dough. Okay, now you're just gonna put them in a bowl or container, and then you're just gonna let it rest for about an hour and a half, or until it doubles the size. And then we're gonna come back, shape our pizza dough, and start making our pizza. After I let my dough rest for about 1 hour, now I'm gonna shape it. So what I did, I just cut it in half, and now I'm gonna show you how to do the balls. So now we're just gonna, with the finger, gonna press it like this. So press, 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 and then cut. So just like that, roll it, and now you're just gonna let it rise a little bit more. So these ones, they're pretty much ready to be served. So as soon as you need it, you grab your pizza dough and start making your own pizzas. But that's how you shape it, like that. And then we're just gonna come back and make one pizza. But this is just a basic, how to do the pizza, the dough. And then you can make any pizza that you want. You can also make a focaccia with this kind of same recipe. And the Italian bread also, we put them in the oven when we have some extra dough. We make the dough at the end of the night, shape it, let it rest, and then we make the bread. The bread that goes in the oven. In the next day when you start your oven, you leave the oven. When you turn it off, you close it, and then in the morning the oven is still hot, so it's gonna be about 300-400 degrees, and then we make the bread at the restaurant. So I'm gonna come back and show you what we do and finish our pizza dough. So after you have your dough already resting, you're just gonna remove it from here. The longest stays on the warm temperature, it's gonna, you know, double the size. As you can see, these little bubbles, this is done. And then we're gonna have our bench with sunflower. You can always, you know, use your hands to stretch your dough, or you can use a pin roller if you want, or pass it through a machine, however you want to do it. So at the restaurants, this is how we do it, like this, and then we just stretch it by hand, like this. And you know, just remove the excess of the flour, and then you just stretch it by hand. And then you can add any toppings that you like. You know, you can do fresh tomato sauce, fresh tomatoes. You know, you can make any topping on the pizza. So this one, you can always play like this, you know, stretch it by hand, and with your knuckles, you're gonna stretch it. So go like this, stretch, twist, stretch, twist, stretch, like that. Same thing. And then you can play, you know, throwing it in the air and whatever you want to do. Like that. It's been a while, chef. So I had a friend that used to work with me in the Italian restaurants. And he never stretches his dough by hand. He always used the pin roller. It's one friend of mine. I'm not gonna say his name, but you know, he knows who he is. So I'm just gonna say hi to him and to all my pizzaiolo friends that I have when I was working in Chicago at Folias with Bruno. And this is the way that we make the pizza there, or anywhere where you make the stretched dough. You know, when you do the pizza in the oven, in the wood oven, you just stretch it as, you know, as big as you want. And then you can use your pizza tray or the pizza stretcher. Now you can always put them in the pan, you know, and then you're just gonna check it from there. So in the meantime, you're gonna have your oven preheated 475 or 500, and then this is what we're gonna do. Put a little flour in here. You got your dough. Make sure it runs, so that way you don't have any trouble when you put it in the oven. And then this one, you can put any toppings. Like I said, you can do tomato base, just a little tomato base in the bottom. I'm gonna make some pesto. So same thing, 1 tablespoon, and we're gonna go all around like this. So I'm gonna make a margarita. I have a red margarita and the white margarita. The one with the tomato base on the bottom, and then this one that doesn't have any tomato base on the bottom or sauce. So it's just gonna be my pesto all around like this, and I'm gonna put my fresh tomatoes. You can use any kind of tomato, heirloom tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, whatever you want to do. And then put some of my tomatoes on the bottom and cut them thin, because the tomato has a lot of water, so you don't want your pizza to be ruined by water. So I'm gonna add some regular mozzarella, so that way it covers my tomato. You can do it the other way around too. You can put your cheese on the bottom and then put the tomatoes. I don't want my tomatoes to be burned. And some fresh mozzarella also. And I'm gonna add some of my fresh basil, just a little bit, because it's gonna be in the oven. And then when we take it out, we're gonna add more basil. So in the meantime, you're gonna have your oven preheated at 475, and I have one pizza ready over here if you want to see it. I got it over here, so you just want to check on the bottom like that. So it's almost done. This is the one with the tomato sauce. And you're just gonna put it there once in a while, you know, check it out so it's not burned. For about 5-10 minutes, you know, depending in the oven. And then we're gonna put this one on, take the other one out, and show you how it looks like when it's done. I check my pizza, and as you can see, it's nice and cooked on the bottom. Also, it's not burned. Now just be careful when you take it out, you know. Slide them out, and I'm just gonna let it cool down a little bit so I can cut it, come back, and also I'm gonna put this one in the oven. So for this one, I'm just gonna put a little olive oil on the edges, so that way more Italian. And put them in the oven. Take it out in 10 minutes. For this one, you know, you can just add a little prosciutto if you want. So what I did, I put some fresh prosciutto, and then this is more expensive, you know. So this is not your regular tomato basil pizza. So you can put any toppings you want, like I say. So fresh basil, prosciutto, and some parmesan, fresh parmesan. So these ones, that's what we used to do when I used to work in downtown, you know, in the pizza place, the restaurante, Folia. So, and I had a lot of friends there. Most of my friends, you know, they were Italians, imported from Italy. So I just want to say ciao to everybody, all my Italian friends, Franco, Giorgio, Samuele, Saverio, Bruno, and enjoy, guys. Thank you. Hopefully you guys like this video, how to do the Italian pizza, and enjoy. Viva l'Italia, bello. Take my pizza, you can see it's nice and done. Now I'm just gonna take it out and just let it rest a little bit before you cut it. As you can see, it's nicely done. Hopefully you guys like this video, how to do the pizzas, and enjoy. Right, so when I was making my pizzas, I was remembering a lot of my friends from Italy. I used to work in downtown Chicago in a restaurant called Folia. And I had one guy who was my prep guy. And then he started moving up, you know, on the line. And then one day he's like, I want to do the pizzas, you know, I want to know how to learn how to flip the pizzas, you know, work the dough like this. And then I told him, you know what, you just want to grab a wet towel and you're gonna practice all day. That's what you're gonna do for today. All day with the towel, wet towel. And then you're just gonna start flipping it, you know, playing with the dough, with the towel. And then at the end of the night, you know, we had some extra leftover dough. And then we start practicing, you know, how to stretch the dough by hand, you know, stuff like this. And then that's the way he learns. So I just want to say hi to all my friends, my Italian friends. Samuele, Giorgio, Dimitri, especially, that's the guy that we teach him how to do this stuff with the towel. Saverio, Franco, and Luca, and Francesco también. So, and also to Bruno Abate. Un abrazo, un beso. And we'll see you next time, guys. Thank you.